15 years ago in pop culture history, Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz got married. Now, I'm sure many of you know there was a point in time where Alicia Keys was getting a lot of heat for this relationship. So, this is the story of Swizz Beatz and Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz are both from New York City, and they actually met back in the 90s while they were teenagers. Alicia Keys was 14 and Swizz Beatz was 16. They were really just friends for this first decade of their relationship. They ran into each other a lot at award shows and industry events, but let Alicia Keys tell it, he was just a little too flashy with his expensive cars and jewelry and clothing. Well, at this point, it did not really matter what Alicia Keys thought about Swizz Beatz because in 1998, he started dating an R&B singer named Mashonda. They got married in 2004, and then they had a son named Kasim Dean Jr. in 2006. Also, a quick side note, Swizz Beatz had already had 2 children from 2 different relationships, so by the time he and Mashonda have this child, he is now a father of 3. In 2008, Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz do meet again, but this time it was to collaborate on a music project. The song they were most likely working on was a song off of her Element of Freedom album called Put It in a Love Song featuring Beyonce, which was actually co-written and co-produced by Swizz Beatz and came out in 2010, 2 years after they rekindled. It was during this time that Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz got closer, and they reportedly started dating later in 2008. But it really was not that clear cut because from the outside looking in, everyone was kind of like, wait, you're still married to Mashonda though. And we were not the only ones feeling that way because Mashonda went on Twitter and shared some of the exact same sentiments. She actually tweeted from this old plugin that Twitter could use called Twit Longer, which would let you surpass the 140 characters, so you know sister had a lot to say. She accused Alicia Keys of being a homewrecker and for hiding an affair with Swizz Beatz for a year and a half. She also says that she tried to reach out to Alicia Keys privately, but Alicia Keys was not trying to hear all that, so she took it to Twitter. Mashonda did also share that the pain she was feeling, she would not wish on her worst enemy. Regardless, both Swizz Beatz and Alicia Keys vehemently denied the claim, saying that Swizz Beatz and Mashonda were already broken up by the time he and Alicia Keys started dating. And 2 years later, in May 2010, Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz announced that they were engaged and were expecting their first baby together. A month later, they took a trip to South Africa to participate in a traditional Zulu ceremony to bless their baby. On July 31st, 2010, Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz got married at a private home on the Mediterranean Sea, and in October 2010, they welcomed their first child. They actually didn't know the baby's gender until he was born, but they did name him Egypt. 4 years later, on July 31st, 2014, which was also their 4th wedding anniversary, they did announce that they were expecting their second child. Their son Genesis was born a few months later on December 27th, 2014. Contrary to how Alicia Keys and Mashonda might have felt about each other back in 2008, they have now since refocused on being healthy co-parents and creating a good environment for the children. In 2016, Alicia Keys put out this song Blended Family, What You Do for Love, and in 2018, Mashonda released a book called Blend, The Secret to Co-Parenting and Creating a Balanced Family. So this is Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz' big blended family, and 15 years later, they are celebrating their 15th wedding anniversary.